Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching my review of Dewar's Caribbean Smooth. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. In today's episode I'm reviewing a rum finished whisky from Dewar's. It's an 8-year-old blended Scotch whisky from the John Dewar & Son brand of whisky, which comes from the Dewar's Aberfeldy distillery in the Highlands. This particular whisky is owned by Bacardi, and they obviously are a rum producer, and they also own another number of rum brands. I'm not sure what brand of rum this would have been aged in, but we can probably be sure it's one of their own brands of rum. It says double aged. That refers to the finishing in the rum barrels, and it says for extra smoothness. I purchased this directly from the Dewar's distillery website. It's available for £25, and as far as I can tell it's the only place in the UK you can actually buy it. So I didn't think it was too bad for a Dewar's whisky. I've had the 12-year-old and that retails for about £30, but obviously as this is a special edition and you can only get it from the distillery, I didn't think that price was too bad for this type of whisky. So I have covered a number of rum finished whiskies recently, and this is the latest in my line of purchases of rum finished whiskies. Should we find out what it tastes like? On to the whisky. Right, so before I get on to nosing and tasting and tell you what I pick up on this whisky and whether or not I like it, I thought I'd point out that because this is a blended whisky, obviously there's a chance that it has a number of different whiskies from different distilleries owned by, and possibly not even owned by, the Bacardi brand. And some of the Scotch whiskies they own is obviously Aberfeldy, because it comes from the same distillery. But also they own things like Altmore, Brawl Brackler, Craig Ellicky, so there's a good number of well-known brands within their portfolio. So let's try it on the nose. Right, it is definitely quite light on the nose. There's not much alcohol vapour. There is a sweetness, but it's not too strong. I'd say there's a hint of vanilla. There's a hint of sort of orange peel. There is a light brown sugar on the nose. That could be sort of subliminal because I know it's a rum finished whisky, but I'm sure I can pick that up. One thing I'm getting is sort of tropical notes in the background. There's sort of pineapple, papaya, mango, that sort of thing. There is a hint of smoke as well. It's quite light, but picking up a hint of smoke in the background. And unusually there's something I'm not quite sure of at the minute. I know what it is. There's a hint of proper sugary Coke, but flat Coke. You know, that sort of when you've left cola in a glass for too long and it's gone completely flat, and you pick it up to go and drink it and you realise that's what it smells of. Let's try it on the palate. It's quite a simple whisky. It's not giving much away, but what I am getting is lots of sweetness, but immediately there's a noticeable peat smoke in there. It's got a little bit of pepper, but I wouldn't say it's one-dimensional, maybe two-dimensional. It's got that sort of sweetness followed by that sort of savoury peat note. But let's try it again. Yeah, it's quite light, but I'm getting those sort of sweet tropical fruits with that sort of peat smoke, and it is typical, I'd say, of a blended whiskey where that peat smoke is a bit muted. It doesn't have enough sort of depth to the flavour, but it's there, it's noticeable, and along with it comes a little bit of pepper. Yeah, it's quite nice, but it's simple enough. I would think that this whiskey is designed for the sort of person that will drink it neat, but it also allows it to be a whiskey that can be made into a cocktail. So one thing I've noticed as I'm sort of describing it to you, and that there's not too much bitterness and dry wood on the finish. A lot of blended whiskies tend to be quite dry and bitter, that sort of pencil shaving sort of wood character. It's not too bad with this one, and yeah, that pepper, it does linger for quite a while, but it isn't strong. But so it's not attacking the palate and the taste buds too much, but it is sort of just sitting there for some time. So I'd say it's probably a medium finish with this one, but it is it's a nice enough dram. I wouldn't say this is really for an experienced whiskey drinker. It's more of a beginner's dram. It's very well rounded, it's very soft, but there is a nice sweetness to it, and there is also a nice sort of peaty smoke, but it's yeah, it's quite simple. Would I buy it again? Probably, if the price was right. You know, if it was on sale and a few quid less than this, but I'll definitely enjoy this bottle. It's a nice dram for the sort of sunny days we're getting at the moment, and yeah, it's probably one that you could quite easily share with friends and it'd go down quite well. Yeah, not bad, but probably not enough rum influence for me. Slauncher. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.